All right, friends, so we are here to go over what is Numerical Grade 5, Module 6, Lesson 9, or specifically that learning target of I can generate two numerical patterns using two given rules and graph the points. Remember to pause and rewind as needed so that you can have appropriate understanding, and of course make sure that you have something to write on and something to write with. All right, so when I'm given two tables like this, so I have my first rule is y, it's 2 more than x. So to create these points, I have to first find the y. So what's 2 more than 1? Well, that would be 3. 2 more than 5 is 7, 12, 17. So then that's how I get my points. So I would have 1, 3, 5, 7, 10, 12, and then lastly 15, 17. So now that I've done this rule, I'm going to go ahead and graph it. So I have 1, 3, 5, 7, 10, going up on my 10, there we go, 10, 12, and then 15, 17. There we go. All right, and then there's my line. Oh, all right. So now let's go ahead and do our next given rule, which is this one, y is 5 more than x. So 5 more than 0 is 5. 5 more than 5 is 10, and then we continue on with that. So that way we get our points. I know that it goes x and y, so that's how I'm putting those together. And let's go ahead and graph that. So I have 0, 5, I have 5, 10, I have 10, 15, there we go, and I have 15, 20. All right, so that's how we can go ahead and graph those lines. But as we're continuing on, a lot of times, especially in our test, we see instead like this. So it's going to give us some patterns, and so we know how to solve this. So let's go ahead and solve these. So y is 5 more than x. Okay, we know this one. So 5 more than 0 would be 5. 5 more than 1 would be 6. And I can continue on like that. Then it gives me another pattern. Y is 5 times as much. So what's 5 times 0? That would be 0. What's 5 times 1? That would be 5. And then 10 and 20. All right, so I have my two patterns. And then it'll give me a question like this. In which line will the point 9, 14 be present? Okay, so if I'm looking at this, this is my y is 5 more than x. So I'm looking at this point, how are they related? 14 is 5 more than 9. So I know that this will be line L because that matches that pattern. Another kind of question that we may see is this one. How many times will the pattern for line M need to be repeated to get to the point 735? Okay, so I'm looking at line M, which is right here. So this is y is 5 times as much as x. So y is 5 times my x point. Okay, so if I'm looking here, my y is 35, which is 5 times, what's my x? 7. So it's going to have to be repeated 7 times, because I would have, here's my first time, second time, fourth time, continuing on. It would have to be repeated 7 times, which is that x coordinate, to get to that point. All right, friends, remember to pause, rewind as needed, so that way you have proper understanding. And of course, always reach out to me during small group time or during our in-class work time to make sure that we have proper understanding of this before you move on to your practice.